to do. I still have to put away the chairs. But anyway, I've got all the chores. Or anyway, it's up to me to do them all. I still have to put my clothes today. All in all, reality is cats, like an alley cat at your park. But now I gotta do your part. I got a day job and a night job and an interview at 5. You've gotten rid of both boyfriends and you've given me the green light. I got a day job and a night job and an afternoon away. You just waved a hand and we're engaged, you say. I've been up since 4 AM and finishing this at midnight. After this thing I should sell it and call it quits when the getting's good. I took a night at your new club today to take a break away from the rats. But now I got your locker stool and your car keys in my cart. I pick up the pieces left on the floor while you walk away like you don't care no more. I'm tired of cleaning every mess you make, slowly losing patience with every break. Every promise broken never leads to change. I'm the one who's always left rearranged. Your lack of effort shows clear as the day. I'll be sweeping you out when I find my way. Hey, hey, I'm the cleanup crew, fixing your mess just like it's new. Hey, hey, won't be here long, cleaning house, I'm moving on. Watching you take credit for the work I do, every single task I pull double through. Your empty words no longer faze me. Soon enough your history, just wait and see. Where's the spark, the dedication gone? I'm carrying weight, dragging us along. No more excuses, your time is past. This sweeps your fate, I'll make it last. Hey, hey, I'm the cleanup crew, fixing your mess just like it's new. Hey, hey, won't be here long, cleaning house, I'm moving on.
We stand afraid of shadows cast by doubt, whispered fears of what they'll talk about. Got dreams that wait in line behind our pride, but courage lives where fear is set aside. So many dreams collected dust on shelves, scared to fail, so we hide our true selves. But life will pass and so will all those stares. Nobody's watching as much as we think they care. So step into the light, don't fear the fall. The only limits here are built by walls. Tear them down and seize what you deserve. You're stronger than the whispers you've heard. Got plans to make, but fear keeps you in place. Afraid to lose, or maybe scared to chase. But what if magic waits around the bend? Go grab it now, don't let the doubters win. We wear these masks to hide what we believe, but truth has power when worn on your sleeve. Reach for the stars, they're closer than they seem. Your path is clear, don't let them steal your dream. So step into the light, don't fear the fall. The only limits here are built by walls. fear keeps you in place. Afraid to lose, or maybe scared to chase. But what if magic waits around the bend? Go grab it now, don't let the doubters win. We wear these masks to hide what we believe, but truth has power when worn on your sleeve. Reach for the stars, they're closer than they seem. Your path is clear, don't let them steal your dream.
They said I wouldn't make it, they laughed at my dream. Every move I made felt like swimming upstream. But yesterday I met a fan, eyes full of belief. In their gaze I saw the end to my grief.
Doubt didn't win, trust began. Looked in the mirror, saw my biggest fan. Heart beats like a drum, fight through the span. Kept on pushing, now I'm the man.
Folks called it trash, said I'd never thrive. Every word I spat, cut deep like a knife. Thought my wings were clipped, stuck in a dive. But mirrors don't lie, I saw myself alive. I put in all the hours, climbed out from the dirt. They dissed and dismissed, said I'd always get hurt. Met a fan so loyal, reflections don't lie. My biggest supporter is just me in my mind.
Through the noise and shadows I held my ground. Bumps, bruises, broken, no comfort found. But that fan smile turned my world around. Now I'm rising sky high above the sound.
Doubt didn't win and trust I began. When I looked in the mirror, saw my biggest fan. Heart beats like a drum, fight through the span. Kept on pushing, now I'm the man.
From the ashes I flew, they can't dim my flame. Every mocking voice only fed my aim. Yesterday showed me it's not just a game, 'cause in my reflection I found my name.
Folks called it trash, said I'd never thrive. Every word I spat, cut deep like a knife. Thought my wings were clipped, stuck in a dive. But mirrors don't lie, I'm the man.
From the ashes I flew, they can't dim my flame. Every mocking voice only fed my aim. Yesterday showed me it's not just a game, 'cause in my reflection I found my name.
Folks called it trash, said I'd never thrive. Every word I spat, cut deep like a knife. Thought my wings were clipped, stuck in a dive. But mirrors don't lie, I'm the man.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. How is everyone doing today? I am Tech Coach Ralph. We are engineered to win. This is Tech Q&A. I am here to answer all of your questions tonight. This is the night for questions. Welcome in, everybody. Hopefully you're doing well. Tonight is Tuesday, January 14th, 2025. Yes. Can you believe that? We are already 14. We're just about done with 14 days into 2025. The year is off to the races already. Can you believe that? It is what it is. It is what it is. I'm telling you, just around the corner is going to be February. It's going to be Valentine's Day, and the Abandoned album will be dropping on Valentine's Day. Any opportunity I get to mention the album drop of Abandoned, I take it. Anyhow, we're not here for Abandoned, are we? We are here for Tech Q&A. Welcome in all my friends, all my family. Happy to have you here. All right. I'm going to jump real quick into our agenda. Then I'm going to check the chat, and then I will I will share with you something that I found very, very disturbing today. All right, I was actually very, very bothered by it, and I'll tell you what happened. And I just want to hear your thoughts on that, right? And then I'll have another question for you, maybe like sometime in the middle of the show, right? But I want to share that with you. But let me get into our agenda first, and then I'm gonna check the chat, and then we're gonna get into that, right? So, all right. So first and foremost, we have our 2 hours up and running. I just want to say a big, big thank you to all of the new subscribers to the channel. I see that a lot of people were really into the Kali Linux video, so we're gonna just continue that throughout the year. Hopefully you found value. I think we got stuck last week on the UTM virtualization, but I think I figured that out. So we might revisit that this coming Thursday and get that working, and then continue with the rest of the course. But so yeah, I just wanted to say that thank you for all those who watched the Kali Linux live stream. I'm clipping that up as well. But yeah, I had a great time doing it, and I hope that you guys enjoyed as well. And I hope to see you guys on Thursday. That is in 2 days from now. All right. Next up, I just want to say also, I want to say a big thank you to all of the subscribers to the channel who have been with me for a very, very long time. I really appreciate everyone, all the new ones, all the ones who have been with me for a very, very long time. I really appreciate you.
I appreciate you.
And I got to say a big, big, big shout out to all of my tech barbarians, my tech mercenaries, my technical explorers, and those who take the time to sign up even for free for the Patreon. You guys are amazing. I really, really appreciate you, and I look to continue to add even more value. I'll tell you this, right? Even at the free tier in the Patreon, I give you all the sprint reviews that the tech barbarians do, so that you can see how they are learning, because a lot of them, they are very, very new to the tech space, and I'm taking them through a guided example, and like, all right, we're actually building a project so that they can have that real practical experience. So once they get into that interview, they can say, oh, I use Docker, I use Git, I use Jira, and I was able to pull branches, I was able to push branches, I was able to approve pull requests, all of that, use Playwright, all that good stuff. So you get to see what they're actually working on, what they worked on for the past 2 weeks. If you're a technical explorer, then you can get to see the entire Scrum Night, all right? As well as other videos as well, all right? So shout out to all of my tech barbarians, my technical explorers, my tech prodigy, and another shout out to my tech mercenaries, my YouTube members. Shout out to you all. You guys, all of you guys are the best.
We the best.
And as well, I always have to give a shout out to my people over at the Bag Changers. Shout out to the Bag Changers out there.
Money.
All right. So, yesterday or this morning? I think it was this morning. Either this morning or yesterday, but I uploaded the live that I did. It was a live Google Meet that I did where I updated my resume to the latest things that I accomplished and my job for the past 6 months to a year, and we had some talks about federal jobs as well. So that is in the Patreon. That is available at the Technical Explorer tier and up. So if you're interested in seeing how I structure my resume, and I'm always refining it too. I try to update it every 6 months to stay up to date, so I don't get too far of everything that I did at work and what I'm going to take off, what I'm going to put in. Always looking to add value. So that is available in the Patreon. We are doing the large language model course in the mornings. We did it yesterday. We're going to continue tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to be implementing using Ollama, the open source local large language model, using Ollama to do our web page summarizer. We were working on it yesterday. We prepped it. I wrote down all the steps that we need to do, and then we're going to actually start to implement it tomorrow. Maybe carry that over into the following Monday. We're going to be doing ethical hacking this coming Thursday, and DevOps courses on Sunday. The links for all of those courses are in the description of the video, and some of them might be circulating throughout the chat. I did not create those courses. Those are the courses that I'm taking and that I'm offering you to come learn with me, where I do the projects on the stream, but you have to actually do your homework and go through the course on your own time, right? We're not playing the videos from the course on the stream. Udemy does not like that, right? But I fully support Udemy. I've been using Udemy for over 10 years now. Great platform, and that's why I share their links, because they have some bad professors now. I'll tell you that, some bad instructors, but the ones that I recommend, those are the ones that I've used, and I actually like them. All right. So like I said, tomorrow morning around 7:30 we'll be going live. Thursday 7:30 p.m. 7:30 a.m. tomorrow morning, 7:30 p.m. on Thursday for ethical hacking. and then 2:30ish on Sunday for DevOps. All right. And then we have tomorrow software for our pre-record for our premiere software explorations, concept and overviews. We're going to be talking about the five stages of ethical hacking / penetration testing. All right, that is part of the course. So if you're taking the course, you would have read it, but I'm going to give a short presentation on what I learned in the course tomorrow noon. Software explorations. So tune in for that. Friday we have the bug bite, and then throughout the week we have shorts as well as clips from different various shows. So there is something for everyone out there, right? So that is the housekeeping for today. All right, I am going to check the chat real quick to see who we got in the building. So starting with the one at the top, we have my guy, Operation Tech Takeover is in the building. Says peace and blessings. Peace and blessings to you as well. OTTO. Thank you so much, as always, for all of your support.
Let's get it.
And hopefully you're doing your best to stay warm over there, right? We got Antonio Watkins with the profile pic in the building. What's up, Antonio Watkins?
Hey.
And we got the one, the only, Mr. Tech-Neek is in the building. Please say the dash. We got your car in the building. What's up, your car? How are you doing tonight? And we have Love McNeil in the building. How are you doing, Love? Love, I saw your comment today, and no pun intended, I absolutely loved what you had to say. And I share those same sentiments with you. We work, we figure it out, and then we try to share what we learned, but we don't give them the answers. We're like, all right, look into that little spot right there and see. But I want you to figure it out. I don't want to give you the answer. I want to maybe give you a little kick in the right direction, maybe a hard kick, but a little kick in the right direction, so that you can figure it out yourself, and then it would be a lot more memorable. So I 100% agree with what you had to say today in your comment. I appreciate you taking the time to leave such a detailed comment as well. Aww. And Love liked the opening as well. Thank you so much. I try to do a very nice, QA quality, OCD, ADHD, like this office is like clean dirty, you know how they have like skinny fat. This office is clean dirty because it's like things are where I want them to be, but it's like it could be a little bit cleaner. So just my mind. That's just my mind. All right. And says, so Ray says, you quit your job. Me? Quit my job? Well, why would I do such a thing? Why would? Oh, no. We do not fumble any bags over here. Nope. That is one of the questions that we have tonight, that somebody's saying like they're leaving their job after 17 years. I have never been at a company for 17 years. So no, but quit my job? No, Lord have mercy. No, that is not happening. All right. Antonio Watkins says he's on the road. Be safe out there. Be safe out there. It's cold out there. I know you're from Florida, but you might be driving in other parts of the country where it's cold. Be careful, right? We got Prince Marky D in the building. All right, Prince Marky D. Here's a question. I won't tell anybody, but did you ever used to be a DJ? Because I think DJ Prince Marky D would be like a really, really cool name. What do you guys think? Do you think that DJ Prince Marky D would be a really, really cool name? And if you have never been a DJ, you can easily become one due to AI. I'm just saying. You've heard my music, and I'm sure if you a little bit of creativity, and you will have something amazing. All right. And Love says thanks, and it says laughing at clean dirty. It's a clean dirty, It's a clean dirty. And it says no, but I was born during that time. That's Prince Marky D sounds like a great like a great DJ name, So I'm just saying if you want to go back in time. Because I made a song the other day that sounds like Motown, So I'm just saying, it's possible, right? It says, my DJ name is DJ DevOps, aka DJ Cheat Code, aka DJ Shining Force. What? Is that right? Let's Gotta clap it up. I gotta clap it up for that. All right, so let's get into this real quick, right? Oh, stop the show, stop the show, stop the show. We got my guy. We got my best friend in the building.
Did we just become best friends? Yup.
Says it just gets to a point, dude. What point is that? What point is that? That you're like, wow, I did not think that I could like Ralph anymore. But then I saw the stream and I was like, you know what? I was wrong. I fooled myself. I like him even more than I did 5 minutes ago. I get it, Mitch. I get it. It took me a while to understand what you're trying to say, but we're here, Mitch. We're here. I get it. I get it. And thank you so much for being here and for always being my best friend for life. Shake your bake. All right. So I get it, Mitch. I get it. I get it, Mitch. I got it. It took me some time to figure it out, but I got it now. All right. Okay. So let me share this real quick. All right. So, all right. I'm not the biggest fan of other people's kids, right? But if they're going to come to my house, like for any extended period of time by themselves, like, you know, like my wife is watching them or something, I'm like, they gotta be productive, right? Because they're not gonna be using up my TV, using up my electricity, my food, my water, and not be productive. So I'm like, all right, well, if you're going to be here, and I'm like, you got to do your homework or something, right? So earlier today, this kid is here. And I'm like, did you do your homework? Like, oh, we don't have any homework. I'm like, what do you mean you don't have any homework? Says, oh, they didn't give us any homework. I'm like, okay, why not? Like, oh, well, it's midterms week at school. I'm like, well, did you study? Like, yeah. I'm like, what did you study? What are your midterms on? And they said, it's on science. And it's on science and social studies, right? And I'm like, okay, so what about science and social studies? So they said it's about volume. I'm like, hey, what's the formula to calculate the volume? I don't know. I'm like, okay, cool, no problem. I'm like, all right, for social studies, what about social studies? Oh, we're learning about the 3 branches of government. I'm like, okay, so what are the 3 branches of government? So they say executive, legislative, judicial. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm like, what branch does the president belong to? I don't know. Like, are you kidding me here? I'm like, are you kidding me? I said, they said judicial. I'm like, no. And I'm like, how many Supreme Court justices are there? I don't know. This is a fourth grader, okay, at a private school. I'm like, what's going on here? What is going on here? I wish Alexis was here right now. I wish Alexis was in the chat right now, because she told me a story about her, like someone grilling her daughters about, what was it? I forgot it. Maybe it was like the universe or something like that. And she was like, her kids were just like, were stumping, but people asked me the questions. I was like, man. But I'm like, I say, okay, how many states are there? 50. How many of them are connected to like the intercontinental United States? All of them? I'm like, oh my God, no, what's going on? So this disappointed me like so much, because I'm like, what, like, we're gonna blame the school, we're gonna blame the teachers, right? We're gonna blame the school system and everything. Like, I'm like, why is it my expectation that a kid in the 4th grade should know that the president belongs to the executive branch? Am I asking for too much? So I was like, all right, you have IXL? Yeah. Like, you know the username and password? No. Where is it? Oh, somebody has it. I'm like, all right, go get it. They never came back. I'm like, well, at least I'll save on my electricity bill. Like, it doesn't make any sense. It does not make any sense to me. See, I tried to break my 2025, my compassion list 2025, but I couldn't. I'm like, nope, not happening. Like, you gotta go. You gotta go. You're not gonna be sitting up in my house, not doing anything, watching TV. Hell, My 2.5-year-old can count to like 30. You know? Anyways, I digress. All I'm saying is we got to do better with our kids. We got to do better with our kids. Hold on a second. Hold on one second. Let me see this real quick. Where is he going with this? Well, Matthew, I was trying to get to it. All right. Anyways. All right. So let me see anything new in the chat, and then let me go through the chat one more time, and then we'll get to our first question of the night. Let me get my question. There you go. Questions. There you go. Cool. All right. Cool. So let me get to this. Let me see. Mitch says, "How about DJ Guess What? We don't care." Oh my God! I'm telling you, this guy Mitch. I tell you, he has something special. You too. Mitch and his split personality are a funny group. All right. Look, your card says "Earn Your Keep." Damn right, you're damn right. So let me see. We got Maddox in the building. What's up, Maddox? How are you doing tonight? It says, "Did you ask what are the 4 classes in Fortnite?" I did not see, because I wouldn't be able to. I wouldn't know the answer to that. I would have no idea what the answer to that is. All right, Mitch, settle down, Mitch. Settle down. I tell you. And then as soon as she gets here, I can't stand you. I tell you, that guy, Mitch. Says the smug laughter. Like, dude, the literal next message clarifies. That's why I pulled back. That's why I pulled back. I'm like, I'm like I'll let him live. So says Alexis has been tired of seeing her on this live stream and chat with all these men. See what you guys did? Says definitely got to do. Thank you, Antonio Watkins. Definitely got to do better. Says, let me see. To be honest, kids are under attack from too many vectors. Well, you know what, Matthew Barnes? At my house, they don't have to be attacked. They don't have to be under attack because they don't have to be here. If they're not going to do their work, if they don't know, if they're not going to be prepared, they don't have to be here. So, the kids are not attacked under my house because I will remove them. Let me see. Phil Knight just got back from surgery. What? How you feeling? Are you just got back from home from surgery? Are you okay? Are you doing all right? Man, you're here after surgery. Let me see. It says, all right, but you better watch it, Buster. That's hilarious. All right. We got Gorilla 323 in the building. What's up, Gorilla 323? How you doing? All right. Let me see. Says Matthew Barnes says, you want kids to do better. The vector of distraction has been optimized by tech people and the vector of teachers. Not saying you ain't doing a decent job. I mean, your 2-year-old can count to 10, 30, 30, not 10, 30. But I'm not saying the kids have to do better. I'm saying the parents have to do better. The parents have to do better because kids are kids. If you give them an inch, they'll take a mile. You have to be there for your kids and make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. All right. So that's what I was referring to about doing better. Kids are going to do what you ask them to do. All right. Let me see. And we got Chris Parks in the building. What's up, Chris? How are you doing today? All right. Let's get to our first question of the night. All right. Let's get to our first question of the night. Let's go. All right, let's get to our first question of the night.
Another one.
All right, so this first question says, leaving after 17 years. I'm 41. I'm turning 41 this year. And I have been offered a new job with a competitor that is $8,000 a year more, potentially rising to 10 for the same job as I'm doing now. I work for a small family business and the new company has got multiple branches and a lot more buying power and more opportunities for promotions and learning. Am I betraying what? My current boss by going to the competition, or shall I look after number one? The benefit with the new company far exceeds the one I get now. Private pension, death in service. What is death in service? What is death in service? I don't know. Optional private healthcare. I think it may be time to leave, but want to know other people's thoughts. Whoa. Okay. Well, let's start our timer for this one. Let me start our timer for this one. So, if you're wondering about being disloyal to an employer, I would say that you are thinking about the wrong thing, because although you were working for them, were you working for that same company for 17 years? Look, if they fall upon hard times, right, they will have to drop you, or if you start messing up the bag, they're going to have to drop you. So what you can do, you can try to negotiate with them if they're willing, but you have a better offer. And I remember this, right? I'll break it down like this. I remember watching the Miami Heat, and when Dwayne Wade was going to leave the Miami Heat after everyone thought that he was going to retire as a Heat lifer.
What's this? Oh, it's only money.
Oh my God. Stop the show. Thank you so much, Magnetar. I'm going to read the super chat in a second after this question, but I just want to say thank you so much for the $5 super chat. I'll read it, but I do want to finish this question. But I appreciate you, Magnetar.
I appreciate you.
All right, so here's how I'm gonna connect this. Right, when Dwayne Wade was leaving the Heat, right, and I was like, everyone thought he was gonna be a Heat lifer, but you know, the negotiations, he wanted something, and the Heat were like, Pat Riley was like, no, we're not doing that over here. You're not worth it. We don't pay you for what you did in the past. We're paying you for what you're going to do in the future. We have a team here to take care of, right? And I was like, and Dwayne Wade left, and I was like, I get it. I wasn't mad about it. I was like, it's all good, you know? And he eventually came back, and, you know, he got less. I think he got less coming back than he would have gotten if he had stayed, you know? And what he left for to go to Chicago for was like a slight difference. And when you add in the taxes and stuff like that, it probably would have been the same thing. But it was a principle thing for him, right? And I'm like, I left companies that I was at for a long time. Not 17 years, but about, 6-7 years, because I didn't want to be there anymore, and I wanted more money. And then from that company, I left that company for another more money. It's like, it's not about loyalty. There's no loyalty in business. There is no loyalty in business. It is what it is. So I would say, if the company that you work for now cannot offer you a better everything like this new company can, then explore your options. I think the problem that happens to most people is that they're afraid. They're comfortable where they're at. So they're afraid to leave and go to what could end up being great for them, or that can end up being terrible for them. For me, every time I've left to go somewhere else, it always gets better. I learn more stuff. I get to work with different type of people. I get into different industries, and learn, like, now I'm learning like video encoding and stuff like that. Before that, I was learning a little bit more about the healthcare industry. Before that, I was learning about like mobile marketing and phone communication, stuff like that. And through each of those companies, I built more stuff related to QA, learned more about DevOps. I knew nothing about DevOps before I went to the mobile marketing company. And then I was using Docker. I was spinning up containers and stuff like that. So, but I think that most people, they're so comfortable. And they're like, well, what if it doesn't work out? Then it doesn't work out. And then you go figure that out, But life is all about figuring things out. Life is all about figuring things out. And that's my perspective on it. I don't like to move based off fear, or when it comes to business either, like loyalty and stuff like that. Because at the end of the day, it's just business. It is just business at the end of the day. You know, I put myself in a better position. I put my family in a better position. You know, more opportunities, better. It looks better on the resume. So the question is, what is it that you really want? Do you want to make some company that gives you $10,000 less a year, you know, happy until they don't need you anymore? I don't remember what I said. What did I say? I said life is all about drinking. I didn't say drinking. I don't know. I don't know, love. I got to think about it. But I said something like life is oh, you know what? I have to turn on the link too. Life is all about I think decisions or something like that. I probably said decisions. I don't know. I'll have to listen back to it. Let me turn on the link. All right. Life is all about figuring out. Thank you, Yakar. All right. I turned on the call-in link as well. If anybody wants to call in, feel free to click on the link. I forgot to turn it on earlier. All right. So that is my thought on that question. I think that at the end of the day, you gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta take care of your family. You gotta take care of the people who are actually important to you, because when like there's people that I used to work with, I don't even remember who they are at this point. So you gotta move forward with that. All right. So let's wrap that question up. All right, we're gonna do one more question and then we're gonna get to the chat. All right, so one more question. So we're gonna do 2 questions, chat, 2 questions, chat. If somebody calls in, we will handle that accordingly. If somebody asks a question in the chat, we'll handle that accordingly. All right, but 2 questions, chat, 2 questions, chat, 2 questions, chat. All right, and that way we can get through most of our questions tonight. All right, so next question.
Another one.
Growth in QA after 11 years of experience. What? So I want suggestions for professional and personal growth for being a QA after 11 years of experience. I'm working as a QA having knowledge of manual and automation testing both. I want to seek some advice on how to excel in my career, career further as having 11 plus years of experience. Should I try to switch to dev/DevOps by learning from scratch, or is there a better option for people like me? All right, so the timer. First, I would say, right, if you're interested in learning DevOps and stuff like that, then you should join us on Sundays as we work on DevOps, as we're working on Kubernetes, Docker. We're going to be working on Packer, some more Terraform, all that stuff, right? But if you want professional and personal growth, then just learn different things. Like, why do you think here? Like, I've been in QA for 15 years, right? Been doing automation for the past 12-ish years, and I'm never stopping what I'm working on. Like, we're learning about AI, building. I want to build my own AI workflows, integrated that with some APIs and stuff like that, and then I can say, okay, how can I bring this back to QA? I was able to figure out, okay, how can I use Terraform and apply it to QA for building the Docker image that runs our automation test. And then so it's professional and personal growth. It's all about, are you picking up a book? Are you taking a course? Are you trying new things out? For me, as I go through these different projects and these different courses that create these different shows, like our Saturday morning show, right? From the Saturday morning show, we ended up creating a whole dictionary app that we use on Saturday mornings so that we can reference the economic data that we're looking up. And then I was like, you know what? We need to be able to get custom examples on the fly. So we're like, all right, let's integrate OpenAI's API into it. So for me, at least, when it comes to growth, whether it's professional or personal, I just do. I'm like, all right, let's try this. Let's try that. I have tried, like in the past year, I've tried more different software, some of them on the fly. I have moved around and like, all right, let's go hacking. Like last year at some time, I installed Catalytics to see how it worked via Docker. And like this, we're like, okay, like we're going to do it again. We're going to do it VirtualBox. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. So many different options that you can use to learn. Like I still have to read Magnetar super chat, but Magnetar was messaging me like, oh, can I use this course to do the class? I'm like, yeah, certainly. Oh, like what about like this computer that I have? It's not working the right way. I'm like, well, you can check out this computer, and we're like trying to figure it out because we want to grow, right? We we don't like to stay stagnant. Every time I talk to Yakar, he's like exploring some new software, some new technology. Like, Yakar is the one who mentioned about the large language models and the AI prompting and things like that. And I'm always thinking, like, how can I optimize my workflow? On the morning show the other day, I was like, well, this is what I normally do to get my videos ready, getting the title, getting the description, the tags, the thumbnails, and I'm like, well, I need to find a way to optimize that to take it from like taking 20 minutes to like 5 minutes, where I can just put one thing in and it does everything for me, uploads it to YouTube. So it's for me, I'm always looking to solve a problem. I think we need to solve a problem, like, and when you're like, because a lot of times I just want to learn this, I just want to learn that, but then we don't have any way to apply it, and that's one of the reasons that I always like want to go back to the machine learning and data engineering, data science, but it's like I don't have practical use for it yet, So, but then I find practical use in the DevOps, I find practical use in the AI, I find practical use in the ethical hacking. I find practical use in when we were doing the mobile development last year. So, and just by doing all of those things, it just allows me to understand things better, see things more. And I was talking to somebody at the job yesterday. I'm like, do you think this course would be helpful for learning more about like video encoding and video streaming and stuff like that? Through the company that I work for, I understand a lot better how these video platforms work and how streaming works. But there's still a lot of stuff that I don't know. I'm like, I should learn about this. I should learn about that. And when you can find a way to connect whatever that it is that you're learning back to your day job, to your professional job, it just makes you that more valuable at the company that you work for. And for me, at least, I'm always thinking about, okay, how can I add value? How can I add value? How can I add value? Whether it is on this channel, whether it is to the people that I'm coaching in the Patreon, to anywhere, like at work, family members, friends, how can I help? What can I do? So that is that is my number one goal. And I think like through growth is how you're going to add value to yourself and everyone else. All right. So let's wrap that question up and then I will get to the chat. All right, let me read what Magnetar had to say with the $5 super chat. It says, my bad, didn't know you was live. I'm at Best Buy right now getting the Mac. What? Shout out to that. Thank you, Magnetar. I appreciate you, Magnetar. And you see, Magnetar is getting ready. Magnetar is getting ready for ethical hacking on Thursday night. All right, so let me see what else we got in the chat. Let's see. We got Phil Knight says, I'm good, had foot surgery, got to remove one of the bunions I acquired while in the military. It was a nuisance while running and standing for a long time. I hear that. My Barnes says, I'm just going to invest in Chinese companies. China can make a car that costs $5,000 and still be profitable. America needs a reboot. All right. Gotcha. Mitch says, dang, Ralph, you are old. See, thank you, Matthew. You see, Mitch, take that. Thank you, Matthew. Let me see. Maddox says, look after numero uno. Agreed with that. Says, where is he getting his sound effects? Look, I love my sound effects. Says, thanks for the get wells. I'll be doing nothing but school, YouTube, and coding projects while recovering. Hate I can't drive for a few weeks. Dang, those bunions are like that. Says, you work for you, so save yourself. 100%. Says, I would tell my current advisor that I was offered the bag. Let's do a and ask them to match it if I really like the company. If they couldn't, I would go bye-bye. And the way that it sounds like it's a small little company that they cannot compete with the mega multi-location company. And Ikari says, these employers ain't loyal. That is true. That is true. Matt Barnes says, loyalty is for family and friends. You owe an employer nothing. That is true. And it says, they would drop you in a heartbeat. Goes both ways. You gotta do what's best for you. You gotta do what's best for you. Mitch says that Ralph ain't loyal either. Bruh. That hurts coming from your best friend. That hurts coming from your best friend. Matthew Barnes says reciprocity rule works in an employer's favor. When it's time for an employer to be loyal, you get the HR lady says, to every sentence, ignore you, and boom. It's just gonna.
You're fired. You're fired. You're fired. You're fired. You're fired. You're fired. You're fired.
Matthew's right. Matthew is right. Let me see. It says I need one. Also, would like to upgrade my Intel 2020 MacBook Pro. Yeah, I have a cousin who worked for Apple, and he's like, those Intel, like I was about to get me an Intel MacBook a while ago. He's like, nope. He said exactly this to me. He said this.
Do not come.
Said, don't get that. And Magnus said, our current management is dope. Okay. All right. Let's see. What's next? All right. Next question. Then I have a question for you guys. All right. So let's go over to our next one.
Another one.
Testing technologies to learn in 2025. All right. So this question says, which test technology software do you think needs to be learned in 2025? I've been assigned to a new project on my current job, but doesn't seem promising since it is banking. The representative told me that they do automation, but mostly be manual related to API and database. But my current role is a SDET, software development engineer and test, or automation tester. So I don't want to lose all the knowledge I have right now about automation, even if it's only for the UI part using Java, Python, and Selenium. That's why seeking you for advice, suggesting on which test technologies to learn for the next 6 months to cover areas like end-to-end UI, API, DevOps, and databases, and then maybe get a new job during that period. All right, so that's a great question. That is a great question. So here's the deal. For a long time, which we're going to touch on this later, right? But for a long time, it was Selenium is king, Selenium is king, Selenium is king. I have seen an active push that Playwright is trying to steal the spotlight. I see people migrating to Playwright left and right. The other day we had a meeting at work and they said, you know what, we just migrated this project to Playwright. We're trying to get more. We're trying to get more on Playwright. I was like, dang, that's how they're doing it. That is how they're doing it. They are trying to get everybody onto Playwright. So I would say definitely in the next 6 months, if you have to choose what to learn in the next 6 months, right? While I still say you want to learn Selenium, you definitely want to learn Playwright. You definitely want to learn Playwright because as you see these new job postings are growing, they're gonna say Selenium and or Playwright. And I think if you know Playwright, you'll get a little bit of an edge. You'll get a little bit of an edge on all the Selenium people, and that's why you saw me last year, working my way through Playwright. I've been having my tech barbarians learn how to write code, how to automate in Playwright. But I want to touch on something else, though. Here's what I want to touch on. I think that QA people, they do themselves a big disservice, right? Just because the job tells you that, it's mainly manual related to APIs and databases. That just means they don't have the infrastructure in place. Right? That just means that they don't have the infrastructure in place to run automation. But why does it mean that you can't start setting it up? You still do because the way that I see it, even if they say, we're not doing automation, right? I'm still gonna automate it, and then I'll just run it on my computer. Like, yeah, I did it manually, and I'll grab screenshots, I'll review screenshots, stuff like that. I'm like, why don't you work more efficiently? Like it's like we're begging the company to tell us to be efficient when we can be efficient ourselves. I'm always looking to, like, I'll tell you this, right? I work as if I'm lazy. Am I lazy? No, because I'll be up like 4:30, 5:30 in the morning, and I won't go to sleep till like midnight or something, right? But I work as if I'm lazy to find solutions so that I can free up other time. My goal is to free up other time. So then I can figure, so I'll automate this one thing, this one workflow, so that I can go and spend time creating my AI music, right? Abandoned album dropping February 14th on Valentine's Day, all right? But like, I like to optimize. I like to be efficient. I don't like spending a bunch of time where I feel like I'm wasting my time. Now, if I'm doing jujitsu for a good 2 hours, like that's nothing. But if I'm running, jogging, I'm like, all right, 5 minutes into it, I'm like, oh, I'm bored. I can't do this. Some people love jogging. I'm not saying anything bad about jogging. I'm saying something bad about me. I just can't find myself jogging, and not going anywhere. It's like, to me, I don't have a purpose doing it. So I say that because you need to put a purpose to your work. And if you can use your work so that you can learn different things, you can stay up to date, you learn Playwright, learn more about like how can I automate my APIs? Because like I would never, I'd clutch my pearls. I would never do the same manual API testing over and over and over again, the same manual database testing over and over and over again. That's a sin. That's evil. No. What I'm going to do it once. And I'm like, okay, that's how I do it. All right, and then I'm going to automate it. At work, we were building this new project, and I was trying to see what's the best way to automate it. And then just recently, I'm like, okay, this is what we're going to do. And now I sold the idea to the software engineers, and now I'm like working on automating it and making sure that like I don't have to do the whole manual stuff that I used to do for a couple of months. But it's a different system, so we had to strategize to see what's the best way to automate it. But I'm never thinking about how I'm going to do something manually over and over again. Even if they say like we're just going to do it manually, I'm like, all right, fine, I'll find a way to automate it. Last year we were working on this project with AWS, using S3, and we thought we were gonna have to do something manually over and over and over again. I looked into the Python library for S3, the Bodo library, and I found out how to pretty much take something that would take 5 minutes at a time, and it did everything in like 30 seconds. It could have ended up taking us like 2 or 3 days to get everything done. I got it all automated in like it took me maybe a couple of hours to write the script, but after we ran the script, we ran it over and over and over and over again, and it took care of everything in like 30 seconds. So that's why I'm like, all right, you do need to you want to learn Docker. You want to learn about Playwright now. Playwright, super important. You want to make sure that you learn about API testing, like how to automate, when I say learn about this, I mean how to automate them, how to automate your database testing, how to make sure you're properly mocking and stuff like that. One of my tech barbarians, they were writing in Playwright, and they was like, well, being that this is a microservice that we're testing, we want to mock the API calls to make sure that the front end works. So then they went into research on how to do that. We figured it out together early on a Sunday morning. It had to be like 7 a.m. on a Sunday morning. We're on a coaching call, and we're looking it up, and we figured it out, and it works. I'm like, cool. But those are the things that you're looking to learn and to push yourself. You're not waiting for the company to tell you to do something. You're looking for yourself. You're looking for yourself, and then you add value to the company that way. And they're like, all right, cool. We like what the work that you're doing. We want to give you a promotion or a raise or whatever. And if they don't, then you do like LeBron and you take your talents to South Beach. for 4 years.
Bruh.
All right, so let's wrap that question up. All right. Let me do one more. I'll do one more and then I'll go through the chat. Hi, Monica. How are you doing? Happy to see you here. All right, we're going to do one more question and then we'll go to the chat. I see I got some chats coming in. So I do want to address all of the chats because I appreciate the interaction that we have with one another. But is our next question?
Another one.
Got an offer for my dream job, but let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Right. So I got an offer for a dream job, but the location is terrible. Should I accept the job or not? All right. So here's a question that I have for you guys first. Right. Here's a question. Right. Actually, I don't want the clock yet. I do not want the clock yet. Give me a second. I started the clock too early. All right, here's a question. Is it a dream job if the location is terrible? Is location part of your dream job? Because for me, if it was my dream job and I had to be on site, it would have to be 5 minutes walking distance from my house, right? That would make sure that it's a dream job. Because there have been some jobs that I liked a lot. Right? But I had to drive like 30 minutes to get there. No offense to Mitch, who has to drive an hour when he goes to the office, right? But I had to drive 30 minutes to get there. About 45 in traffic. So that takes away from the dream. The traffic turns it into a nightmare. So I just want to know, is a dream, like, does location count in what's considered the dream job? All right. So here's a full story, right? So I've been unemployed for almost a year. What? I didn't know it was going to start off like that. I have experience and quite specialized in a quite specialized field as an engineer, and jobs that are a good match are hard to find. I've also applied for engineering jobs in other industries, and I'm willing to step down from senior level to engineer 1 or 2 and work my way up again. I'm not picky at this point. I just have not had great success by far. Very few interviews, all right? Now, I have a job offer for a role that is a great match. I could fully utilize my skills and experience, and I would have a chance to work in an industry I want to shift my career toward. Salary is great. Benefits are great. Company culture is great. Sounds like a home run to me. Everyone seems to love working there, including some people I met through friends and had nothing to do with my interview process. The problem is the role is located in the middle of nowhere. Ooh, okay. All right. Got there. In a tiny town of less than 10,000 people. Don't threaten me with a good time. All right. Rents are quite high considering how remote and small the place is, and there are not a lot of options for smaller apartments. Job is 100% on site with no possibility of remote. It's about 3 hours from where I live now. My husband does not want to relocate. Oh, okay, here goes. All right, so now it gets kind of tricky. It gets a little tricky now, right? My husband does not want to relocate, and right now it's not even possible. I don't like the location either, but would be willing to tolerate it for a year or so for the opportunity. The idea is for me to live there Monday through Friday and drive back home every weekend. I'd like to rent a room to minimize the cost of housing, as I would not live there permanently. The main concerns are the long distance relationship and husband having all the responsibilities on him for 5 days a week. Oh my God. We have 2 dogs and his job is very demanding. He works days in the office and deals with calls on evenings, nights, weekends, holidays, and vacations. We have no kids though. If we had, I would not even entertain the offer. I'm extremely torn on whether I should accept the offer or not. I see myself doing it for a year and then moving on, either within the company to a remote role or another location, or to another company altogether. This could be a great next step in my career and put me on a good path going forward. Husband is not telling me to decline the offer, but is extremely concerned on how it will impact our relationship. We have struggled a lot in the past and we're still working on getting to a better place. On the other hand, being unemployed has not been good for my mental health and that also impacted our relationship negatively. Ooh, I should have read this question before I chose it. It is hard to say which is the lesser evil: remaining unemployed for unforeseen period of time, or dealing with issues caused by the distance. Has anyone ever been in a similar situation? How do you balance your career ambitions and relationship? Have you worked in a location you really don't like, and was it worth it? Ooh, that is a tough one. Well, we're gonna try to take a stab at it. We're gonna try to take a stab at it. All right. So I think that, oh, that's a tough one. I do think that the dynamics of being married with 2 dogs makes it very challenging. Now, here's a question, right? I would follow it up with this, right? Are you able to take one of the dogs with you? And that way he would have to take care of one of the dogs and you could take care of the other dog. And now that would mean, like, if the room you're renting, well, you see, probably not, because the room that you're renting, you probably wouldn't be able to have a dog in that room all day long, because that would be just gross, right? Like, you should not be getting a dog if you are, if you're like living in somebody's bedroom, right? So that makes it quite challenging, I must say. He's on call all the time. He works days in the office and deals with calls in the evening, nights, and weekends. So he's pretty much working 24/7. You're unemployed, but this is a good job. Here's what I would say, right? You don't have to try it for an extended period of time. Let's say you were to give it a go for a month, right? Is there a gun to your head that's saying that? Well, you have to stay for a year. If you see it's having a negative impact, then go back home, right? At the end of the day, it depends on what you value the most. I understand that your mental health is dwindling because you've been unemployed and you've had issues with your relationship in the past. I would say after you talk to your husband and you guys figure out what you guys are going to do, right? But an option is give it a try. 3 hours is, I wouldn't want to drive 3 hours to go home every weekend, right? But if I had to, I would. I mean, here's another question, right? Here's another question. Between you and your husband, are you guys stressed for the money? Or is it just that you want to work because it is going to boost your morale, help your mental health, right? All of that factors into it. But like I was saying, I don't think it I'm always a person of thinking, like, try it out, right? And if it doesn't work, then you adjust. Like, all right, fine. This isn't working for me and my family. I miss my dogs. I miss my husband. I have to step down, right? At the end of the day, you gotta do what's best for you. You gotta do what's best for you at the end of the day, So it's a tricky question. It is a tricky question, and it's tough to answer that question because it's really personal to someone's relationship. Like, I don't think it's fair for a generalized comment on should you move away from your family for a job based on the past history that you've had, But if you guys can agree to it, then try it. I'm always in favor of trying something new to see if it's going to work, and it might end up working. Not great, but decently. Where maybe sometimes he can come and visit you in 3 hours away, and sometimes you can go visit him for the weekend and stuff like that. Because at the end of the day, like, if you're young and you're trying to build experience, you have to find a way to build that experience. Like, it is so hard, for me at least, if I had to do it, then I would, right? If I did not have a choice, if I was like looking for a job over and over and over again and I couldn't find something, then I would. Like, I know people who like I know someone who like their family, like the wife and kid was here down here in South Florida while they were over in like Minnesota or something like that, working and sending money back home to take care of them because that is the place that they were able to find a job. So at the end of the day, you gotta do you gotta do what you need to do for your family, and if there's a little bit of traveling involved, then you go for that. But I would say try it out, and if it doesn't work out, then you leave it, you know. But I don't believe that. All hope is lost in every situation. I do believe that we have to, based on the circumstances and the situation that we're in, we have to make adjustments. You know, if he can't move and you can do the traveling, then give it a try. That's how I see it. That question is really, really, really hard to answer based on your past experiences, where we can easily, oh yeah, just move. But then you're like, well, I have 2 dogs. A lot of people they're really attached to their dogs and stuff like that. So I know that's a tough one. But that's my thought. I say give it if you guys agree to it, give it a try. And if you see it's hurting the relationship, then leave it and come back and figure something else out, right? But give it a try. All right. So let's wrap that one up. All right, let me go to the chat to see what we got going on in there. I see some new faces coming in. All right, let me see. Let's see. All right, so Matthew Barnes says, like, you get more money by, let me get this thing off the screen. It's like you get more money by posting fake jobs on LinkedIn than you get by hiring people, which is insane. You get more money by posting fake jobs on LinkedIn. Can you clarify that a little bit, Matthew Barnes? I don't understand that 100%. Let me see. He says, I bought the iMac in Air Force blue color. What? All right. Let me look that up real quick. iMac in Air Force blue. iMac in Air Force blue. Let me see how that looks. Customize your blue iMac. That does look nice. I must say. That does look nice. Let me see. Mitch is always hating on Apple, by the way, just letting you know. It says, agreed, I'm ready to add a horizontal monitor to my setup. So you have a vertical monitor now, love? A vertical monitor? Let me see. I strongly believe that data engineering will never go away. That's why I want that role. I'm done with my program. When I'm done with my program, I think data engineering is awesome. Data science is awesome. I just can't find a way to make use of it right now. That's my only problem with it, and that's why I can't dedicate time to that course yet. It says, don't listen to him, man. 40 is the new 25 from a 25-year-old. Mitch is like, I'm confused. Who are you? That's just Mitch's way of saying hello. It says, federal employment is loyal. That's a good point. That is a good point. Until next week, Magnetar. I'm just kidding, Magnetar. Don't come at me, Magnetar. Let me see. Love says, that's why I come to these lives. I learn stuff all the time. Playwright? That's a thing. Yes, that Playwright is a thing. Playwright is an automation framework. They have it in JavaScript is probably the one that is strongest for. They have it in Python. They have it in Java, C#. I believe they might have it in Ruby. I don't remember exactly, but they have it in a bunch of different languages. It's really, really cool, really, really fast. I like working on it. I like working with it. Monica said, welcome, Monica. How are you doing tonight? Says, I've reviewed various tools over the last 10 years for my employers, and Playwright was the first in a long time that checked all the boxes, and that was when it first came out before MS got them. Good point. And it's pretty good. For the longest time, I'd say learn Selenium. Now I say learn both, but you definitely want to focus on Playwright because a lot of companies are asking for it now, right? Let me see. It says, So Chris says, any advice on how to deal with bosses that don't want to see you improve? I do a lot of what you're saying and trying to learn about tech, and my boss isn't really feeling it. I would say about that is, don't do it for your boss. Do it for you, right? Do it for you because if you don't know who's watching. A lot of times we're only thinking about our boss who's like, oh, trying to make our boss, happy, and because they're the ones who can, give us promotions and raises and stuff like that. But you never know who's watching. And a lot of times I've seen great employees who the bosses didn't value them get swooped up by other departments and other teams, and because they see their work ethic. So I think that you do it for you. You continue to learn, you continue to improve, and guess what? If you're not valued at the company that you're at that moment, then you're going to be valued by another company. So I never think, like, when I'm learning this stuff, I don't think about my boss or the company. I use it to help me be better at my job, but I don't do it necessarily for them. I do it for myself, and they are the beneficiaries of it. My teammates are the beneficiaries of it. You guys are the beneficiaries of it, but I do it for me first, right? So like when I'm learning DevOps, when I'm learning ethical hacking, when I'm learning large language models, all of that, it's for me first, primarily for me. And I say, you know what? If you guys want to come along on the ride with me, then by all means, you can come. But my train is not going to stop, right? People jump on at certain spots. People jump off at certain spots. It is all good to me because I know what I want to learn, and if I can help you learn it with me, then great. So, like I said, Chris, do it for you. Do it for you, right? Because I'm going to keep pushing, but just curious to see how you handle that. Can't outshine the master and all that. You know what? You can't outshine the master until you catch him in a baseball choke and you choke him out, and then you're like, all right, cool. Now I'm the master. Now I'm the master. So at some point you gotta rise up and do what you gotta do, right? So it says, is your boss really the master, or just doesn't want you to doing better than him? That's a good question. It says, dang, guys always putting my business in the street. What are you talking about? It says, so take the job, got the bad location, then get the job doing the same thing in the dream location with more money. I'm curious because I saw that answer come in before we got to all the context. I want to see if love changed what she had to say, or if she still stands by that. But that was a tough question, I must say. Says I'm not sure, to be honest. In my case, I'm just transitioning to tech, cyber. They don't want me to do any trainings because what I want to do doesn't relate to my job. So here's what you do, Chris. You do the trainings on your own, right? And then when you see an opening happen in those different departments, you just apply for them. And then say, oh, I didn't know you had interest in that. Well, my boss didn't let me. So you apply for them, or you apply elsewhere, because you cannot let anyone hold you down, right? I remember like back in the days, like when we would be trying to get somebody from another department, we'd have to wait like 6 months to get somebody from another department to start working with us, right? And I'm like, if that person was to quit and we were to hire them back, we'd get them tomorrow, So it's like, don't let like your boss, your employer, they're supposed to help you. If they're not helping you, then you go find someone else who is willing to work with you and help you grow. Like I never really think about. I don't really think about the boss and the company. I'm like, I need to learn what I need to learn, and then I'm going to apply it, and then I'm going to go wherever. What's the saying? Go where you are appreciated, not where you're tolerated. So let me see. We got Alexis in the building. What's up, Alexis? Mitch was crying for you earlier. He's like, oh my God, I miss Alexis. Where's Alexis? Where's Alexis? So hopefully he doesn't start going, hopefully he keeps that same energy. He doesn't start like saying, oh, I can't stand Alexis, Says, Magnus says, I'm in that situation now. Great job, crappy location. This was one of the reasons people are fighting for remote work. Oh, okay, gotcha. See what I mean? I told you, watch. Let's see how long that lasts. Let's see how long that lasts. It says we're saving you taxpayers money when we relocate to a different area. Then relocate. Like, thank you, Mac. Sorry, then relocate. I'm not gonna stop you. I'm not gonna stop you. We got Miss Jennifer in the building. What's up, Miss Jennifer? How are you doing? I caught a live. Hi, y'all. Hi to you as well. Actually, spending money to move helps the transportation sector. Okay, Mister. What was the title again, Magnetar? Transportation manager, something like that. Says I'm a federal employee, so yeah, I can find someone who does what I want to do. Like, says, so you're a fed. You're a fed too, Chris. You're a fed too. Shout out to the feds. Let me see. Says, why don't you just ask someone in a different department to show you what they do without your boss knowing? You got to do what you got to do. 100%. I agree. Let's see. Let me see. All right. It says, my heart is, he's so silly. You are so silly. Let me see. Love, you got an Air Force blue Mac as well. What's up with these blue Macs? I didn't even know they made. I thought Macs were in the dark grayish color and the light grayish color. That's awesome. It says vertical monitor. That's what. Oh, so you want a vertical monitor or you have a vertical monitor? But either way. I got you. Either you want a horizontal or you want a vertical. But I got it. That's awesome. I tried to do a vertical monitor once and we did not get along very well. Mentions that Ralph is a hater. That is a fact. I am a hater. You work for the BLS? All right, I have a request then. I have a request, Chris. I need you to talk to the IT people who make the website and tell them that the website should work with www and without www, right? Your security certificate needs to be updated so that it can have a wild card where if I type in bls.gov/whatever, it's not going to give me an error, right? Right now, it requires me to put a www, and that is not right. All right, so just and tell them that I want my webpage summarizer to be able to work on that on the BLS website as well, because last weekend I tried to use it and it failed, right? It said that we don't allow web crawlers, and my feelings were very hurt, right? So now that I know, Chris Park, that you work with labor statistics, I have a voice into the Bureau now, and I think that you can help me make my Urban Dictionary of Economic Data work a lot better, all right? So I'll message you. We'll work on that, all right? So let's make it happen, all right? Let's make it happen. There you go. Thank you, Chris. Thank you. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you.
You know, so and Mitch has to end the chat by saying Ralph. All right, cool. Fair enough. I read it, right? So let's continue on to our next question of the night.
Another one.
What makes a QA engineer untouchable? Wow. So before I totally switched careers from being a project manager to becoming a QA engineer, I'm doing some landscaping and having some questions. As the title states, what makes a QA engineer basically bulletproof that even if they got laid off from one job, they could have another job immediately? Is it soft skills? Is it hard skills? Or a combination of both? Are there any specific soft skills or hard skills that a QA engineer would need to possess? I'm currently a project manager on a government contract, and me having my PMP certification and my security clearance makes me kind of bulletproof, because even if I got fired from this job, I can get another job. I can get another one literally tomorrow. So I'm wondering the same type of thing. Okay, well, start a timer on that one. So I'm gonna be all right. I gotta be honest with you. Nobody is untouchable. All right. I understand you might feel that you're bulletproof, right? But if you do the wrong thing enough, I'm gonna guess, because maybe it's a better question for Chris and Magnetar, right? Because they're the feds, right? But I don't believe that any position is bulletproof, right? But as far as QA being bulletproof,
I'm just being honest.
there is no such thing. There is no such thing as a bulletproof tech role, right? Like you might have like some really good skills, and you have a better chance of getting a job. But there's no bulletproof tech roles because there is a new software engineer graduating every single day. There is do you not see how many QA boot camps that there are? And I don't normally see that many government QA roles. You might get a contractor, a government contractor who is like hiring, and they want you to have these certifications and stuff like that, and these clearances and stuff. But QA is, it's a tough role it's hard for QA to be bulletproof because there are so many people who are studying QA. Now, having your security clearance, that helps a lot. That definitely helps a lot if you can find that QA role, because I know many people who have tried to they try to apply for these QA roles, and they even if with the government contracting and stuff like that, and they don't get any callbacks. I think that you need to know somebody. I think you need to know somebody in order to somebody like Magnetar, somebody like Chris, who would put in especially if you're in tech and QA, that'll put in a good word for you, push your resume along. But I would never be the one to say that there is a job that is bulletproof. There's an industry that's bulletproof, because new technology comes out every single day. You might be a manual QA tester, and now somebody with some type of clearance and stuff like that, they come and say, oh, we can use our own local language model to optimize some of these workflows that we don't really need. Especially now with the new administration coming in talking about government efficiency. So there is no bulletproof tech role. There are some skills that you might have that will enhance. And I honestly don't think, I know a lot of people like to talk, when I'm looking at resumes, and they'll have a 2-page list of their soft skills and a 2 bullet point of their hard skills, right? Hard skills like your technical skills. And for me, when I read soft skills on a resume, I don't care, because to me, your soft skills are an expectation, not something to brag about. You're a good communicator, great. You're a great listener, great. But I kind of expect that. I want to see what you can do. What have you done in the past? So, do hard skills make you bulletproof? No. Do they make you untouchable? No, but they help a lot. They help a whole lot. Say, if you can show, I would say a skill that is important for if you're working in the government in tech would probably be Azure, Microsoft Azure. Knowing that platform, because from my understanding, which Magnetar and Chris can help me out with this, but from my understanding, the government uses a lot of these Microsoft products. They use Azure, as opposed to, they might use some AWS, but from my understanding, it's mostly on Azure. That's what I would assume, based on what I've seen in the past. It's mostly on Azure. So I would say learn how, learn the Azure DevOps, where you can do your test case and stuff like that. Learn how to, last week, I was pushing up an image onto the Azure repository, and then one of my tech barbarians were able to we finally were able to get it deployed and get the app running. So my thought would be learn those things, but they're not going to make you untouchable. I don't believe there's any tech job that is untouchable, because competition is fierce out here. Competition is fierce out here in this tech, and it's a dog-eat-dog world, right? So I don't think there's anything that can make you untouchable, especially for QA, when there's a I don't know about the government, but I know like in most of the tech roles that I've been in, there's a 4, sometimes 5-to-1 ratio of developer to QA, you know? So that's what I see. All right. Let's wrap that question up. There's no untouchable roles, right? No untouchable roles, right? Let's wrap that one up. We're going to do one more, and then we will get to the chat again. But I am curious to see what Magnetar and Chris has to say about that. All right, let's go to our next one.
Another one.
Software developer to ethical hacker? What? They must be following on Thursday nights. All right, so it says, I'm currently working as a MERN stack. So MERN is Mongo, what's the E? I always forget the E. Express, React, and Node, right? MERN stack developer in a startup company, but I'm not enjoying the work. Why do people always want to enjoy the work, right? I think enjoying your work is an added plus, right? But go get your money, right? And I recently came across the cybersecurity, ethical hacking to be more precise, and I really feel this field would be amazing, but I'm so confused where I should start. Start on Thursday nights with me, right? And as I am a JavaScript developer with a thorough knowledge, I am confident my skills would surely boost me. I tried finding online resources, but unfortunately, I am unable to find proper guide. I would really appreciate if you guys would help me and let me know if this field really has a future. One last question. Application security engineer and AppSecOps, are they both the same? I have no idea. They are financially so stable. Just wanted to know about them. So let's start our clock on that one. So I would say that for ethical hacking / penetration testing from software developer, if I was a software developer, engineer, or I can say as a QA engineer, would I make just a full jump from that to ethical hacking? I probably would not at this time, right? Why would I not at this time? I'm still researching the field. Like, I want to know, are companies, like my main question is, are companies hiring ethical hackers on salary, or are they getting them on contract? Like, hey, come in, see if you can break the system, and then we'll pay you this amount of money. So for me, what I would personally want to do is see if I can like continue doing my day job, right, with my bread and butter, and then can I get some contracts? Can I get some consulting? Can I do some bug bounties? How can I start getting familiar with this field first before I'm like, I'm just gonna transfer over and I'm just gonna drop software development. I'm just gonna drop software development and I'm going to become an ethical hacker. I think a lot of times we make these rash decisions based on our feelings. And I don't believe we should ever make decisions based on our feelings. When I made decisions on the past based on my feelings, it always went the wrong direction. So I would say, if you don't enjoy the work that you're doing as a software engineer, software developer, then you need to find a way to make it enjoyable while you continue to learn about ethical hacking and penetration testing. You can do that on Thursday nights with me. We are going through the complete ethical hacker course, right? But in the I think we can have dual purposes and dual paths, right? I have like 6 purposes. Like, I'm doing a bunch of different stuff. And do I like every single thing that I'm doing? Actually, I do. I enjoy it a lot. I must say, I do enjoy it a lot. I enjoy working with people one-on-one, trying to help troubleshoot, trying to figure out different platforms. I enjoy the live streaming and how we can, stumble together and so you guys can see how things actually work. But that's because I gamified my system, my workflow. I made it enjoyable. If I was to just see like software, like quality engineering just as like a repetitive task, and I'm like, oh, I hate this, because guess what? Then the The same way you feel about software development, it's how you're going to feel about ethical hacking. Because it is not a job role problem. It is a you problem. And then you're just gonna, you know what? After 6 months in ethical hacking, I don't really like ethical hacking. Maybe I should try being like a project manager, right? And then you're gonna, oh, I should go take my PMP. And then now you're gonna study and then you're gonna do that. You're like, you know what? I don't like that either. Maybe I should become a network engineer, and you're just gonna be floating back and forth. I say, like, you find a way to like working as a software engineer, then you also find a way to like being an ethical hacker, and you can do both. You can do both, because one thing I always say, like, you never pass up an opportunity, right? So because let's say you do end up becoming an ethical hacker, right? Does that mean that you can't build full stack applications for clients? Or vice versa. You can stay being a MERN stack developer, right? But you could also do bug bounties at night. And you know why I don't get bored with the work that I do? Because I do so many different things. In the morning, in the daytime, I'll be at my day job, working and doing all the stuff, participating in meetings and stuff like that. And then some nights I go fight people, right? I go fight people some nights. Other nights, I'm streaming with you guys, like tonight, like Thursday night. Then I'll have coaching call. I have a coaching call tomorrow night at 10:30 p.m. So I don't think it's about you not liking being a MERN stack developer. I think you're not challenging. I think part of it is probably not challenging yourself, and you're looking for a challenge in something else. And I say, you know what? Do both. Because now you make yourself more valuable. You give yourself more opportunities. Because now if you learn ethical hacking, so you can put yourself in the position for, like, well, you're a great software developer. We want to give you $150,000, right? And it says, oh, you can also work on this bug bounty where if you get it, we also give you another $50,000, right? Two totally separate paths. So I think that we need to stop finding, like, the work that we're doing for, like, that to be where the enjoyment is, and we should create our own way of enjoying the things that we do. That's what I do. I remember one time I got a comment that was like, oh, why are there so many sound effects and stuff like that? I said, there's so many sound effects because that is how it keeps me coming back and enjoying what I'm doing. If you want somebody with less excitement, less sound effects, who, they just give you the information, then go check out my friend, the test lead. I've done some interviews with him before. Go check out the test lead. He is, like, straight to the point. No fluff, no lights, no tricks, no. But for me to enjoy what I'm doing, I have to do it my way. And those who want it my way, they'll come and hang out with me. Those who want it like a more direct, shorter content style, they'll go hang out with my guy, the test lead. So, and I'm like, I'll be happy to send people over that way if that's their style. And if I'm somebody else's style, he'll send them over my way. So I think you need to create a way to enjoy the thing that you're doing instead of looking for somebody else to make it enjoyable for you. Create your own excitement, create your own path. All right. So that is my thoughts for that question. All right. Let me get a sip real quick. All right. So let me check the chat to see what's going on. I think I saw Rod Brown stop by. And I'm happy to see Rod Brown because I had something to say to Rod Brown. Let me see. We got my twins in the chat, Magnetar and Love. Magnetar says, pretend that your next job is watching you. That's a good point. That is a good point. Let me see. I didn't see that one earlier, right? Alexis Enjoy it while it lasts. Enjoy it while it lasts. All right. And Chris says, we're going to find out after January 20th, Vivek and Elon is shooting Desert Eagle bullets. We got my guy, Rod Brown, in the building. What's up, Rod Brown? How are you doing? I just got to say this while I told him this yesterday, but I have to say it while he's here. Rod Brown, you are doing amazing work on your channel. Check out the Nourishing Word. Doing amazing work. I sent one of Rod Brown's video to my mom yesterday, and she wrote back, wow, this is a great job, and I'm happy to see what this young man is doing. I was like, shout out to my guy, Rod Brown. Subscribe to the Nourishing Word, all right? He does good stuff. And Rod Brown, you would not believe the impact that your message is having on people that you probably have no idea about the reach that your channel is having on people, right? The impact it's having on people. So shout out to my guy, Rod Brown. And Chris Park says, government loves Microsoft with a passion. They do. All they have to do is threaten Microsoft with antitrust, and Microsoft said, we'll give you whatever you want. And ever since then, they've been besties. And it says, yes, we have Azure. We also have Microsoft Office since 2000. Yeah, you guys sure did. And it says, Azure can be used as a backup in the event. Where is that? Where did that comment pop up? Azure can be used as a backup in the event your remote working and your main computer goes down. Yeah, you guys have like an actual PC box in the office, right? And then you guys remote into that box, right? For us, different companies work different ways, but we just have laptops for the company that I work for. The past two companies I work for, they just give us laptops, right? Two companies that had a Mac, one company that had a Windows. I hated the Windows. I hated using the Windows. Like after you've been working on a Mac for development and stuff, and then you have to go back to a Windows, it is not a good feeling. It says, you know what? I don't like nothing. Maybe I should rob people. Some guy. It says, create your own excitement like I do. Shout out to Mitch. Mitch is what keeps the chat popping. I appreciate Mitch. I appreciate you, Mitch. It says, let me see. It says, Rod Brown is doing all right. He doesn't have a negative comment yet. Rod Brown says, Mama Ralph loves me. She does. She was like, oh man, that was great work. That was great work. It says, I'm just waiting on your negative comment. The wait is giving me nightmares. We're Magnetar's favorite topic. Elon and Vivek are talking junk because they know people who don't know anyone anyone better will believe everything they say. Kind of like loud dudes showing out just to get a few girls, just because a few girls are around. All right, Magnetar, I will not allow you to talk about my best friend Mitch that way. All right, we know a few girls are around, and he's being a little bit extra boisterous in the chat, but I would not allow you to talk about my best friend Mitch like that. All right, nope, it's not happening. That is my best friend. You cannot talk to him. You can't talk about him like that. All right.
We just become best friends. Yep.
Not cool. It says constructive criticism, and Chris Park says read your Bible. All right. So, but yeah, shout out to all you guys, right? Shout out to everyone out there, right? Mitch tells me to shut up. All right, fair. I earned that one. All right. To be fair, I earned that one. Okay. Says that had nothing to do with it. All right. We got 2 questions left for the night, and then we're going to wrap it up. All right. So let's get through these last. Oh, all right. Before I get to these questions, I had a question for you guys, right? Do you own or have you owned any pets, right? Do you own or have you owned any pets? Any type of pets, right? I'm just curious to see how, and if you don't own any now, do you want one? right? Let me know. I'm just curious. I'm just curious to see the sentiment towards pets, right? And I'll let you know. I have a story. I have a story for you that I'll share at the end about these two birds that we had, right? We had these two birds. I'll tell you the story what happened to those two birds. And I'll tell you what pets that I have, all right? But we're gonna wrap up these two questions first, and then we shall come back to talk about pets. Okay? All right, so let's get to our next one.
Another one.
Playwright versus Selenium. One of them are going to catch these hands. All right. So it says, I would like to ask which is better to learn. I'm a manual tester and I would like to upskill. I'm in the fintech company which testing the display and functionalities of the system and not doing some API testing or internal testing. Which is better to learn? All right. So let's start a timer. So I hate this question because I'm torn between the answer, because I'm going to say now you want to start prioritizing a little bit of Playwright. You want to start prioritizing Playwright a little bit, right? But Selenium is still so important because I like when we were editing videos for the Q&A videos that come out at 3 p.m. Monday through Friday. I came across a video talking about percentages of frameworks that are being used. And Selenium is still about 80% used, right? Playwright is probably at a good 5 to 10% being used. But it's so powerful and it's up and coming. I just told you, like, at my company, they said like, hey, we're starting to progress, like we're trying to switch our framework into using Playwright. And I like Playwright a lot, but I think the answer, as my best friend would say, both of them, BOAF, both of them, right? You want to learn both. And I, on this channel, right? Love, you probably weren't here at the time when I was doing this, but last year on this channel, I was automating a website using all three. I was using, I think we did with TypeScript, right? But I did Playwright, I did Selenium, and I did Cypress. And I wanted to compare the three, right? And I'll say this. My favorite at least through JavaScript and Node was Playwright. It just integrated better. I didn't like that Cypress had its like everything locked into it. And it's like it's not totally open source. Playwright, I didn't have to worry about setting weights. It took care of that on its own. It's just different, right? Like Selenium is so old that it's hard to, like, you'd have to like restart it from the beginning to make it as like modern. But the restart was Playwright. The restart was Playwright. So I would say learn both. You can learn them side by side. You can learn both side by side. Just look it up on this channel when we did Playwright and Selenium. And if you know both, it makes you more marketable. And to me, I think the problem that we always encounter is that we're looking for the one thing, the next big thing, right? Instead of, well, if they're still like, they're very similar. At the end of the day, when you set up your selectors, your framework, your page object, they're gonna be almost the same. It's just syntax is different. So why not know how to do both if you can learn them side by side? I didn't know much about. I knew almost nothing about Playwright, Selenium, and I knew a little bit about Cypress, but in JavaScript, because I had never done automation in JavaScript before, but we just figured it out because I was familiar with Selenium from Java, and then from Python. I'm like, well, how hard could it be? How hard could it be? Found a couple of guides and tutorials, and we just did it. You know, so that's why it's a tough question to say like Playwright versus Selenium. I say Playwright and Selenium. Why not do both? Why not do both? You know? It'll be better for you to know both, and then now it's on your resume, and you can use the one. Like, you don't have to be an expert in either of them, but you want to know them enough so that if you are asked a question about it, if what if you get hired? Like, what if you go on an interview, right? And they say, oh, we want you to do this little take-home project, and we want you to do it in Selenium, but you learn Playwright. Now you're SOL, or vice versa. You learn Selenium and they say, oh, we want you to do this little coding project in Playwright, and you don't know how to use Playwright. So I'm saying put them side by side. Do both of them. Learn it that way. And with that, now you become a super automator, right? And especially working for a fintech company, I would like, if they're not requiring you, like if they're not requiring you to automate, right? This is one piece of advice, right? If they're not requiring you to automate and you just want to automate, spend extra time so that you can automate the application that you're using in both, right? Get your experience. You have the opportunity to get free experience in how to automate and how to do it right. And then if all goes well, like, hey, you're talking to your boss, like, oh, I automated this so that we can test our workflow, we can test the application on a regular basis, yada, yada, yada. You sell it and you say, oh, I did it in Selenium to see how it worked. I did it in Playwright to see how it worked. I like it better in Playwright, but these are the benefits of Selenium, yada, yada. And now you have a whole presentation. You sell the work that you did. And Chris, from your question earlier about the manager who doesn't really care about your growth, as nice as it would be for them to care about your growth, if they don't, you show them that you care about your own growth by the projects that you work on. And now they're on notice. Oh, well, you know, Chris does a really nice job and we're not really paying him any attention, and he wants to do X, Y, and Z and we don't really care. So we might lose him. So now we have to actually start paying attention. So you have to show what you can do. And now they will see it as well as other people will see it. And now they're going to start to, you know, in the off season, they're going to say, you know, Chris, we want to talk to you for a second, right? We know that you're sitting here in the BLS and you're doing this and that, but did you ever see what's available over here? And now you're going to be signing a contract like LeBron. You know, I'm just saying, right? You might sign a Steph Curry contract. Who knows, right? So that is my thought on that question. Let's wrap that up. And let's get to our very last question tonight. But like I said earlier, I want to know what type of, like, do you have a pet, or did you have a pet in the past? If so, what type of pet is it? How many that you have, or what did you have in the past? I'm just curious, you know, that like the question about the lady who was thinking about moving and she had 2 dogs and her husband was 3 hours away. It had me wondering, like, what about the pets? And if you were offered a job, but it would be detrimental to your pet, would you not take the job? That's a good question. I know people love their pets, right? I know people love their pets. So I'm just curious, right? So last question of the night.
Another one.
How to design automation frameworks, all right? So I wanted to know what all the thoughts and processes are involved in designing an automation framework. How do you design the automation framework? What is the thought process behind it? Which components do you decide to develop as modules? Which tools to use? All right, so that's a great question. I have developed and designed automation frameworks in the past, and I've also helped in designing automation frameworks in the past, right? So the way that I built mine is probably different than what a SDET would do, right? Because from what I'm thinking, I think a SDET would just start designing the different parts of the framework and stuff like that. But for me, when I was designing and building out my framework, I had a project that I was working on, and I had different things that I needed for it, right? So as I'm putting together the project, and I'm putting together all the different tools and stuff, all the different packages, libraries, features, how to connect to APIs, how to do the web part of it. If I had to connect to databases, I was even like connecting to the Google Developer Console to use a Google Sheet API. But then as I'm building it and I'm seeing all the needs that I have, I'm like, okay, this can be reused, this can be reused. And then I started to, and I built it in Java, right? So I started to extract certain parts of it, right? So I would say, all right, so let me turn this into a package or a module, depending if you're using Python. And then let me import it into from another location. So I created a Nexus repository via Docker, and I could pull that from that repository into my project, like via Maven project, right? So I'm doing Java talk right now, right? But for me, I've always built on a need basis, and then once I start extracting what is reusable, then I would be able to call it into other projects. Now when I have another project that's like, oh, I need this feature as part of it, then I can go into the automation framework and I add that feature, and then I import it. I import the latest version, and now that's available to all of the projects that's using it, right? So I've always taken a agile approach to building my automation frameworks, where it starts off with a particular need for the product that I'm building, and then I can extract it afterwards and then use it across other projects. I think, I don't know, for me, it makes sense doing that way, although some people might disagree with that methodology, but I normally build frameworks for myself. A lot of times I've been the only, like, I've been the first automation person on a team, and then I start to build out the whole automation infrastructure. So that's why I end up building up my own automation framework. The company that I work for now, when I came into it, they already had a automation framework in place. How did they get it to that point? I would assume that they built it very similar to how I built mine, based on when they started first doing their first automation project, and they start to extract what can be reused across projects, and now it's its own big Goliath of a framework. It does APIs, it does UIs, it connects to do mobile testing and stuff like that. But honestly, what I've done, that's pretty much what I've done in the past, like thinking about what is it, the needs that I have to test, right? And then I make that available. So I'll list some of the things that I've done, right? So, and I'll because I built the frameworks using Java and Selenium. I'll say, okay, getting the ability to start the different browsers, right? So if we're going to be using Internet Explorer, Microsoft Edge, Safari if possible, Chrome, Firefox, that's part of the framework. But I have that as part, like when I'm first starting the project, I have it all in there. And then now we need to be able to run API test only. We need to run API calls as part of our UI test. So I'm taking all those into consideration. And as I'm like automating the test cases, very, very generic and bland. And then I start to, say, all right, this is going to be for the page object. This is going to be for the framework, where I'm like, all right, the reporting is a part of it. So I have to consider reporting. So now when I import the project, okay, this is like what's going to generate the reports. This is what's going to be doing the UI automation, all those different things. So, that, like, when I develop these frameworks, they're on a as needed basis, right? I don't over engineer it, because I don't like to think about things that that might be needed or might not be needed, because you can spend a whole bunch of time working on a feature that no one's going to use. So I'm like, all right, Now that I got this project to a good point, I can extract my framework. I can make it available to other people, and then based on other people's needs and my needs, I can continue adding to that framework like that, right? So that's how I've always tend to view it. But I'm sure that other software engineers and QA engineers, SDES and stuff like that, they have their own style of doing it. But mine is from what serves my needs. All right. So that is my thoughts. Let's wrap that last question up. All right. We're going to wrap up the show looking at the chat. I am curious to know. Let me know what pets did you have? What pets did you have or currently have? All right. Mitch says, all I hear is tall tales coming from a small man.
Bruh.
That hurts. Mitch says, I had a turtle. Never again. Was it a small turtle? Mitch, I had these 2 turtles back in like 05, 06. And I was living on the 4th floor. I probably shouldn't share this story. It's bad. But I was living on the 4th floor. And they started to smell bad. And I wasn't sure if they were alive or not, right? So there was a lake that was like on the balcony. So I tossed the turtles into the lake and I said, you know what? Go back home. Go be with your family and friends. And I tossed them in the lake. And but yeah, like never again will I get turtles. I agree 100% with you, Mitch. Never again will I get turtles. Maddox says, don't have any pets. Don't have any pets right now. His wife and kids are enough. Let's make sure that they do not understand what you're replying to, all right? Because that might not sound too good. Mitch says both. BOAF. 100%. Alexa says, no pets currently. Dogs in the past. Cocker Spaniel and Rottweiler. You strike me as a cat lover. What? Why, Alexis? Why would you say such a thing? I do have 2 cats, though. I do have 2 cats, and if I could turn back the hands of time, I would not have 2 cats. Says Alexis, he is a porch cat, of course. You know, bitch, I bet I get out way more than you. I was thinking about that the other day. I bet I get out way more than you. I am out of the house every single day. Granted, it might be about 5 miles on the street, but I am fighting with different people every single day, Mitch. So let me see. It says ew. they did smell pretty bad. And Mitch says just evil. I sent him back home. All right. It says I told you. Just give it a second, Alexa. Just give it a second. Turn on you in a heartbeat, right? It says you got to get the real food, not the fake crap that sellers are providing. My kid's turtle died a few months after getting it. Also, the need to be able to chill out of the water. Look, I am not a pet person, and that's why I have cats, because cats, they will do their own thing, right? They will do their own thing. They are just chilling. They'll go out, they'll come back, and I just ask the cats to stop bringing these damn lizards, sometimes iguanas, into the house, right? No.
Do not come.
Nope. But yeah, I'm not a good pet person. Like if I had a dog, oh my God, I would drive myself crazy, because then I have to like go and walk the dog, and then like, oh, the dog had an accident, and you might be trying to do a show, and the dog starts barking, and then somebody in the chat starts chanting who let the dogs out, and it's just a big mess, and just a big mess, right? So gotta be careful with that. Let me see. It says Alexis, I told you. I told you, Alexis, I told you. And it says, just like Ralph, cats are sneaky. What did I do? I didn't do anything. It says, I was right. You don't have to brag about it. You don't have to brag about it, all right? Let's see. Ferrets are pretty stinky also. Ferrets. Not getting me a ferret. It says, fight Coach Ralph. There's that too. There's that too. Let me see. Sometimes I have to teach class, right? It says, he's trying to butter Alexis back up, right? See, I told you. It says the dog would be walk. All right. There used to be this dog, right? And I would walk it, and I hated walking it. And I was like, when at the time before we were married, the person that my wife was staying with, right? They had this dog. Once they gave that dog away, I was so happy. I don't have to walk this dog anymore. I don't like walking dogs, right? I'm just saying. I'm not a dog person. Like, if you have a dog, I'll be happy to see your dog, but I do not want my own dog, right? It's kind of like how I feel about other people's kids, right? I'm like, happy to see your kids when you bring them, but I don't want your kids to stay with me. I'm just saying. Chris Park says, can I participate in the ethical hacking bootcamp if I have absolutely no prior knowledge or idea of what I'm doing? You know, I'm new to all this. So you definitely can. There is like, do you know Python? Do you know anything about Python? If not, if you don't know Python, they do have a section at the end of the course that like gives you enough Python that you need for the course. But you can definitely do it. Follow along. You know, it's like there's a couple. There's going to be some weeks until we get to the Python part, but I think Python is important regardless. So you can definitely, like, I would not let that stop you from because I don't have much ethical hacking background either, but a lot of the stuff is going to make sense to you and you're going to learn. So I'll definitely say do it. The link is in the description, Chris. So I would definitely say sign up for it, and you can, like, I'm learning it with you. And that's why I have the Thursday nights. Magnetar guy is getting ready. I'll answer if I don't have an answer for you on the show, I will definitely have an answer for you the next show. And we do research and stuff like that. So, and you know how to get a hold of me, right? It says, you mean like on Saturdays around 11 to 1 p.m. Eastern? I have no idea what you're talking about, Magnetar. I have no idea what you're talking about, Magnetar. Who let the dogs out? Let me see. Chris says bet. All right. I think that's it. Yeah. So, oh yeah, two birds, right? I've had bad luck with pets, right? So we had these two birds. We had like this parrot-like bird, and we had this dove. Just we had, like, at an apartment they were living at. We had the sliding door open and it just flew into the house and never left. I think it was like a racing dove or something like that. It had these like little zip ties around one of its ankles. And but we had them outside in the backyard, right? And then one morning we woke up and they were gone. And there were feathers everywhere. And we're like, that's not a good sign. We think some animal reached through the cage and ate them. And it might have been the cats. I don't trust my cats. I have a black cat and I have a tuxedo cat. And the way the black cat looks at me while I'm sleeping, I fear for my life sometimes. You know? I think they might be guilty. I think they might be guilty. So it could also be some other animal that was roaming the yards. Could have been a raccoon. There was one night that I woke up and there were these raccoons having a party on my patio while while these other cats just watch them eating their food. I'm like, you guys are gonna fight for your food? Anyways, that's what happened. All right, let me finish the chat as we wrap it up for tonight. Let me see. Magstar says, cool, because I don't know anything about ethical hacking either, but I'll be there. You guys are gonna love it. All right. Chris, if you're gonna join, try to catch up by Thursday. Try to watch the stream from last week so you can get VirtualBox installed and you can get Kali Linux installed, so that this coming Thursday you can follow along and you can start doing, I think we're gonna be doing some networking stuff and stuff like that. But you definitely want to tune into that. Rod Brown says, I have a dog that gets on my darn nerves, right? I was going to say damn nerves, but this is Rod Brown, so I said darn nerves. It doesn't sound the same, but you know. And Mitch says, animals sense evil and they know what you are. You know what, Mitch? Mitch, free.
Yeah, I have a lot of questions. Number one, how dare you?
I tell you. Mrs. I really don't like cats. Let's see. At raccoons having a party. They were just chilling out there. They were like, because there were these cats that we're feeding, and they would hang out in the patio. And then I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and there were these raccoons just having a field day with their food. I'm like, what are you like? You guys can't just take that. Anyways. Fearing for your life in your own house, not good. Tell me about it. Like that cat, like the way that cat be looking at you, oh my goodness. There's raccoons having a party in your back porch. Yep.
Bruh.
After that, I kicked all those cats out. I'm like, you guys are no longer welcome here. It was after a hurricane where we had the screen damage. I fixed the screens. I said, all of you guys gotta go. You guys have to go. I don't know what happened to them, but they're gone. See, I will kick anybody, anything out, right? You guys at the raccoons joined the party. I said, nope, you've crossed the line. You have just crossed the line. That's a good question. What kind of dog, Rod Brown? What kind of dog gets on your nerve, Rod Brown? I used to have a pit bull. If it was allowed, I would have a lion as a pet. Well, you gotta move to Texas, Mitch. You gotta move to Texas, right? But we're going to wrap it up for tonight. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. A lot of questions answered. I had a great time with you guys. I really, really appreciate you all. Let me see as we wrap it up. Let me see. Remember, tomorrow morning we're gonna be doing large language models. We're going to be continuing with our project. Thursday night we're gonna be doing ethical hacking. Tomorrow at noon we are going to be premiering the 5 stages of ethical hacking, and we're going to run it up from there, right? Yeah, that's about it. Let me see. I was actually waiting to see what Rod Brown was going to say. Rod Brown says he has a Doberman. Well, Doberman, isn't that a big dog? I think I know Doberman. Wow, that's a big dog. That is a big dog, right? Well, shout out to Rod Brown and his Doberman. What's your Doberman's name? What is your Doberman's name, all right? But I'm out. You guys have an amazing, amazing night. Thank you guys so much for your questions. Thank you for tuning in. Love.
Yo, the sign is real simple, B. It says wrap it up. Wrap that shit up, B.
Love, Monica, Alexis, Rod Brown, Chris, Magnetar, Matthew, Antonio Watkins, Yakar, OTTO, all you guys who tuned in. I really appreciate you guys. You guys have an amazing night. Tech Coach Ralph, we are out.
They said I wouldn't make it, they laughed at my dream. Every move I made felt like swimming upstream. But yesterday I met a fan, eyes full of belief. In their gaze I saw the end to my grief.
Doubt didn't win, trust began. Looked in the mirror, saw my biggest fan. Heartbeats like a drum, fight through the span. Kept on pushing, now I'm the man.
Folks called it trash, said I'd never thrive. Every word I spat, cut deep like a knife. Thought my wings were clipped, stuck in a dive. But mirrors don't lie, I saw myself alive. I put in all the hours, climbed out from the dirt. They dissed and dismissed, said I'd always get hurt. Met a fan so loyal, reflections don't lie. My biggest supporter is just me in my mind.
Through the noise and shadows I held my ground. Bumps, bruises, broken, no comfort found. But that fan smile turned my world around. Now I'm rising sky high above the sound.
Doubt didn't win and trust I began. When I looked in the mirror, saw my biggest fan. Heartbeats like a drum fight through the span. Kept on pushing, now I'm the man.
From the ashes I flew, they can't dim my flame. Every mocking voice only fed my aim. Yesterday showed me it's not just a game. Cause in my reflection I found my name.
Folks called it trash, said I'd never thrive. Every word I spat, cut deep like a knife. Thought my wings were clipped, stuck in a dive. But mirrors don't lie, I'm the man.
From the ashes I flew, they can't dim my flame. Every mocking voice only fed my aim. Yesterday showed me it's not just a game. Cause in my reflection I found my name.
Folks called it trash, said I'd never thrive. Every word I spat, cut deep like a knife. Thought my wings were clipped, stuck in a dive. But mirrors don't lie, I'm the man.
We just show up and grind all day, only results matter anyway. I'm straightforward, no time to play. Block out the noise, let nothing sway. We don't care what others pursue. Our focus sharp, our goal so true. Their distractions ain't got a clue. We just win, that's what we do. Turn it up on the victory ride. We got heart and we got pride. Let the doubters run and hide. We're the force they can't deny. Keep your eyes on the finish line. No looking back, no wasting time. We climb the ranks, we shine and shine. Success is drawn like a fine line. Turn it up on the victory ride. We got heart and we got pride. Let the doubters run and hide. We're the force they can't deny. Keep your eyes on the finish line. No looking back, no wasting time. We climb the ranks, we shine and shine. Success is drawn like a fine line. Turn it up on the victory ride. We got heart and we got pride. Let the doubters run and hide. We're the force they can't deny. Step by step we reach the top. We'll keep going, we won't stop. Watch us rise, see Johnson's drop. When we win, we own the lot. We don't care what others pursue. Our focus sharp, our goal so true. Their distractions ain't got a clue. We just win, that's what we do. Turn it up on the victory ride. We got heart and we got pride. Let the doubters run and hide. We're the force they can't deny. Keep your eyes on the finish line. No looking back, no wasting time. We climb the ranks, we shine and shine. Success is drawn like a fine line. Keep your eyes on the finish line. No looking back, no wasting time. We climb the ranks, we shine and shine. Success is drawn like a fine line. Step by step we reach the top. We'll keep going, we won't stop. Watch us rise, see jaws drop. When we win, we own the lot. Step by step we reach the top. We'll keep going, we won't stop. Watch us rise, see judges drop. When we win, we own the lot. Step by step, we reach the top. We'll keep going, we won't stop. Watch us rise, see judges drop. When we win, we own the lot. Step by step, we reach the top. We'll keep going, we won't stop. Watch us rise, see judges drop. When we win, we own the lot. Yeah.